Hi, I'm Ginny with Jinny'sHorseProductReview.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about a very important subject. In this video, I'm going to tell you all about how I keep my horses hydrated in the trailer. Whether you are a competitive rider that goes to horse shows, a trail rider, or a horse camper like me, you know how important it is to keep your horse hydrated on the road. And it doesn't matter if you're going across town for the day or across country for a week or two. Making sure that your horse drinks water and stays hydrated when you're traveling is so important. Unfortunately, horses just don't drink water when you tell them. You just can't tell them to stay hydrated, and they'll just drink a Gatorade or, have a bottle of water like you and me. It can be really tricky to get a horse to drink water when they're away from home. Unfamiliar places, horses don't always feel comfortable drinking water. Water can be different in new places, and this is something that I know is, a huge issue for a lot of people, especially if you're bringing up a younger horse or a new horse or a horse that's just a little worried about going to new places and hasn't done it, and you're just trying to bring up that green horse. You want to make sure they're staying hydrated, because if they do get dehydrated, it can lead to a ton of problems like they could colic or tie up or have some other, really expensive vet bill, and obviously you don't want to see them in pain and have them be in danger or hurting or anything like that. So hydration when you're traveling, when your horse is on the trailer, is so important. I know there are a ton of great tips out there, from adding a little bit of sugar or Gatorade or apple juice or apple cider vinegar and things like that to your horse's water at home so that any unfamiliar water tastes good and things like that. And those are all great tips. But my number one surefire, tried and true way to get a horse to drink water is by soaking alfalfa cubes or pellets, or even Timothy cubes, beet pulp. Whatever forage you're comfortable with, they make it in a pellet or a cube form, and you can soak it. What's great about soaking cubes or pellets is that not only are you getting hydration into your horse, but you're also getting forage into their stomachs. If you saw my last video, you know that we talked about ulcer prevention on the road, which is super important, not just hydration, but keeping forage in your horse's system, and soaked hay cubes or hay pellets are an incredible way to do that. This is super cheap, super cost effective, and a great way to get your horse hydrated and getting some forage on the road, especially if they're a little worried. Maybe they're an ulcery horse, a little bit of a worrier. You don't want to add dehydration to any of that. And I have yet to meet a horse that won't eat a bucket of soaked hay cubes. And if you do have a picky eater, pack a little bit of grain with you or carrots or their favorite treats and toss it right in the bucket on top. That'll get them going. And what I do when we travel, anytime before we leave to take our horses on the trailer, they always get their little soaked hay cube ration. That makes me feel like I'm getting a good base of hydration and forage on their stomachs. And then I'll usually make up another bucket for later for whatever stop, especially depending on how long our trip is. Let's say that we're going to be on the road 6, 8 or more hours. I'm going to want to keep continuing to offer them, not just buckets of water, which they're not always keen on in the trailer, or, just getting out to stop in places they're not familiar with, but making sure that you have a bucket already soaked and ready to go of soaked hay pellets and hay cubes, because if they don't drink water out of a bucket, at least I know that they're going to be getting some hydration in the form of that, the soaked mash. So I think this is a really great way to keep your horse hydrated and keep you from worrying and, getting anxious about, is your horse drinking? Did they drink? How long has it been since they've last had water? This is just a super great way that I've found that helps keep my horses hydrated on the road. If you have any great tips about keeping your horse hydrated in new and unfamiliar places or in the trailer, let me know. I want to hear about them. Leave me a comment. I cannot wait to hear about it. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and definitely subscribe to my channel and hit the bell, because you don't want to miss next week's video where I talk about a serious safety hazard that I see a lot of people doing when they're trailering their horses. Until next time, happy trails.